Just start singing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Xmas Your Enthusiasm. This week, the randomly generated, thank you internet, episode is Affirmative Action from Season 1, the 9th episode of Season 1. They call that the penultimate episode. Pentultimate or penultimate? Pent. I'm going to say pen because even though I don't believe in the devil, I don't want to fuck with that pentagram shit. So I'll say penultimate, which I think it probably is anyway. That's one we'll be talking about. As a reminder, this is the second episode I'm going to be doing live with you people, as opposed to before, where it would take forever. I think last week's was fine. It's all the attention you people deserve so far. So I'm going to keep it going and see if I can do it again with affirmative action. Today is the 40th anniversary of Live Aid. Which was a big, I was at that age where it was big for me. I was a big Duran Duran fan. I was still so young. I listened to the top 40, and that was the music I loved, and that was everywhere. And it was such a peak moment in the summer, and the whole world was still under the spell of Lady Di and that whole stuff. And when she came in, Wembley Arena was a big deal. I look back now, and it's kind of a bummer. Because it was the last time, I realized talking it out today, that was pretty much the last time where the music I liked the most was also the most popular music out there with everybody. Right almost immediately after this, after Live Aid, I discovered an oldie station, Extra 104, played a ward off Maryland. So then I discovered oldies, which was the foundation of all the music I love. And then right after, and I also got lucky and found the bands that are still the bands that I most love today, the Ramones, the Replacements, all that stuff, REM, stuff that was the music that became the music that I wanted to play and be a part of later on. And that was pretty much the moment, all that right after Live Aid. But at that moment, I loved all those bands, I loved all that stuff, and I was pumped. I didn't get to sit there and watch it all day. I didn't live in a house where it was like, oh, Greg's sitting there staring at the box. No problem. We'll leave him alone. It wasn't like that. But I saw as much as I could, and it's always been a big deal to me for some reason. I recommend, there's a bunch of documentaries out there. I just posted one on Xmas time today. It's July 13th. You want to go? I posted a couple times over the year. It's really incredible how they got the whole thing fucking done anyway. And I know Geldof had to pull the old, just like the Dream Team, and they were putting it together. Oh, so-and-so doesn't want to play, but, I'll tell him that so-and-so agreed, even though he didn't. So then the second so-and-so feels like he has to. So there's a lot of that shenanigans going on, which is great. It's a miracle they pulled it off at all. Whether or not you even think it was good or not is kind of inconsequential. A lot of drama and everything. So I suggest check out any of the big Live Aid documentaries floating around on YouTube. And it's also my birthday weekend, mine and Scooter's birthday. I considered more Scooter's birthday. Let's be honest, nobody cares when you're my age, but it was great. The party planning committee came through. They knew about my love of Wegmans. Did you think I'd make it? Can you believe I made it this far without mentioning Wegmans in this fucking thing? And they made sure to get me and Scooter a big old cake with plenty of the buttercream from Wegmans on it. So that was great. And as a bonus, my nephew, the greatest nephew of all time, informed me, gee whiz, he's been getting into Seinfeld without me prodding. So he's been watching. Of course, he loves George. He has a working brain. So that's exciting. For this Funkle. So anyway, one last thing. The only luxury I've ever really afforded myself is Sunday mornings. I have the New York Times Sunday edition delivered, not just to my building, but it comes right to my door. Now, I didn't ask for this, but when I started getting it, it comes right to my door. Somebody brings it. So it's a little thing I've spoiled myself with. Because, Sunday mornings I like to get my times, put my tootsies up, yada, yada, yada. And today it didn't show up. So I was going to go downstairs and either ask what happened or get it if it was sitting there. And I walked by and I saw it sitting there downstairs in the lobby next to the guy or whatever. And I was like, something stopped me, and I was like, you know what? If you fucking... And this was like at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock this morning. I said, if you grab that newspaper right now and walk it upstairs, you're never having it fucking delivered to your door again. Once you break that seal, then it's just never going to show up again. So I just walked by. It's not like they know who the fuck I am. And I was like, fuck it, I'm waiting it out. And I walked in and out all day because I got my Panera Sip Club thing going on, ladies. And I don't mean to get you all sissy. The dog days of summer here. But yes, been at my club most of the day. And I was just like, no, not gonna do it. I don't care if I don't fucking get it for this week. I'd rather go without and see what happens than fucking go get. And long story longer. 7:30 this evening, after about what did I say? About 8.5 hours showdown. Boom, there it is, my front door. So it's called standing for something, people. Anyway, so that's my big win for the day. And by day, I mean that's probably the biggest win I'll have for a couple of years now. So let's get started on. I don't know why you had 14,000 cups of coffee today. Let's get started on Curb Your Enthusiasm, Season 1, Episode 9, Affirmative Action. Let's go, Larry. Oh, real quick. So for the season, total for the season, he is 45-42. So cooking along nicely above 500. Let's see if he can keep it up. This is the 8th episode of the season. We have 2 more after this. Let's see how Larry does in affirmative action. Oh, one thing I'll do for y'all is now that I'm doing it differently, I'm gonna read out the Wikipedia entry for the episode to give you maybe a little more context, even though I try to keep y'all up. Anyway, it came out. I don't know why I fucking do this. December 10th, 2000. Remember those days? Here we go. Larry offends Richard Lewis, his African-American dermatologist, by joking about affirmative action. After Larry accidentally gives Cheryl's rash prescription to a maitre d' who throws it out, Larry and Cheryl travel across L.A., that's Los Angeles, not Louisiana, to World Geography Award, 8th grade. I don't want to brag, but, it is what they can't take it away from you. No matter how many times they try. Travel across L.A. to retrieve a new one from Lewis's dermatologist. This goes awry when a house guest calls Larry racist, so they resort to paging Cheryl's doctor on a Sunday. Ooh, sounds grim. All right, here we go. All right, right away, Cheryl's asking Larry. They have some plans to go to dinner, and Cheryl's asking Larry to pick up some prescription for some rash she's got. All right, these motherfuckers, for, the cleanest germophobic people I've ever seen in my life, Larry David and Cheryl's got a couple of episodes. These motherfuckers are always in trouble, got to go to the dermatologist because of some fucking rash. Is this rich people shit? What are rich people getting into that they're always getting rashes? What the fuck is this? Anyway, they get a little bit of a, she wants him to come back and pick her up. He's like, no, just drive, meet me there. She's going to want to have 2 cars, yada, 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 yada. I got to say, after 10 years or 15 years, whatever, together, he's not coming all the way to pick you up, Cheryl. Come on. You're not fucking new. He's not trying to do whatever it takes to get his snout all up in there. Come on. Or, you're so rich you have a fucking rash, you got to go to the dermatologist that you apparently have on speed dial. Get a fucking car service or whatever. I understand. You want to go out and have a few pops, whoop it up. I get it. You're rich. Get someone else to fucking drive you. Jesus. I'm giving Larry that win. Starts out 1-0 for the episode. Congratulations. Okay, now Richard Lewis. R.I.P. Richard, we miss you, buddy. He's confronting Larry. He's like, you never reach out to me. I feel like if I didn't call you, we would never meet up. This relationship is only once. And as weird, like, men don't usually talk like that, but I was going to take Richard's side just because it was so, I was like, wow, for him to even bring this up to his friend, it's such a, because I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, sometimes I wonder, if I didn't reach out text or whatever my friends, would they just never, ever, I don't want to say care, but notice, and would they ever reach out to me? Other than maybe after 3 years, they're like, oh, wait a minute, we should check in if he's alive, whatever. And I think that, and then I just want to crawl under my couch and moan and cry and whatever. But I wonder if that's how everybody feels. Like, it's like if you're a sports fan, you love your team. Sports fans always assume two things about their team. No team has ever had injuries like theirs, and Joe Buck hates their team. Every team thinks that, which means every team can't be right. So I wonder if everybody feels like that from time to time. Maybe I do more than others. Maybe I'm just more sensitive to it or whatever. Or maybe I'm lying to myself and it's true. None of my friends would give a shit if I just never reached out to them. But then it turns out Larry says the reason is Richard's girlfriend, which we've never heard of before. Like, these people go through their girlfriends and boys, like, and so now I'm like, he's like, I don't call you because of your girlfriend. I don't like her. We don't get along. And now I'm like, I mean, that seems like something like after 8 years of not seeing your best friend because of their wife or whatever, you finally have a conversation. But like, what is this? He's been dating this girl for like 3 weeks, and it's culminating with this showdown. It's just too weird. I don't know if I'm not thinking this through, but I got to go with Larry here. It's weird. I appreciate Richard reaching out and confronting him. I applaud it. It's brave. But what's going on with this girlfriend? I don't know. My spidey senses are tingling. I'm giving Larry the win. Larry's up 2-0 for the episode. The hell am I talking about? All right, now this is is the crux of the episode. While Larry and I keep wanting to say Larry and Jerry. That's not. Larry and Richard are talking. Richard's dermatologist, of course, comes running up. He's jogging because in Larry David's universe, anytime anybody steps outside their house, by law, they have to run into someone. In this case, literally, run into someone they know. And of course, it's a dermatologist. Which, let me make an Anton Chekhov's gun joke here. So this is when Larry, he says, "Hey, this is Dr. So-and-so. He's my dermatologist, and he's black." And of course, Larry makes because of affirmative action or whatever, it makes a dumb joke, and the doctor rightfully gets a little upset. I mean, come on, Larry, Jesus Christ. I don't know how long you got to know this guy before you can make that joke. Like, he and Richard seem to be, buddy, like very friendly, and Richard's not making that joke. So, Larry, I can't defend that. That's tough. That's just stupid. He thinks he's being funny and affable. Come on. Anyway, that's Larry's first loss, 2-1. Larry, you dummy. All right, I think I know why rich motherfuckers are always getting rashes and need dermatologists, because now we cut to Cheryl's waiting at this restaurant for Larry. She's just standing in the middle of it, and she's just scratching away, flailing away, digging in the middle of this restaurant. So maybe that's how these motherfuckers pass it around to each other. I don't know. So she's just asked Larry for her prescription. I think we know what's about to happen, so hold on, folks. Okay, now he and Cheryl sat down to eat because he slipped the maitre d' what he thinks is money, and the maitre d' immediately sits him down without even looking at it. He's like, "Oh, it's going to be an hour wait." Larry slips him a piece of paper, and he's like, "Immediately, right here, sir and ma'am." Why would he not look at it? Like, for all he knows, it's a $1 bill, and now they're already sitting. Now he can't tell them at that point to stand up and get the hell out of there. Anyway, of course, since it's the law, Larry immediately sees someone sitting in the restaurant that he wants to avoid. He knows them. Of course, that's the universal law of the Larry David. And he has to go to the bathroom, so he's like, "I'll go 2 doors down," which is ridiculous. But anyway, he gets accosted by a black woman in her cups. I think she's had a few margaritas. It's a fun night, looked like. And she confronts him about she had applied for the job of like line producer or something on that movie Sour Grapes of his. She didn't get hired, and now she's accusing him that is because she's black. And one thing she does is, well, number one, let me say this that caught my eye. Larry is sneaking into a restaurant to use the bathroom, and instead of just slipping in unnoticed, he walks in and immediately looks at somebody working there, points up, and he goes, bathroom, like towards the back, and the guy nods and he takes, like, a normal person would just kind of put your head down and walk, but like, where you'll find the bathroom eventually. Have you never been in a restaurant in a bathroom? Like, just walk towards the back, you'll find it. As long as you just look like you belong there and put your head down. But the bathroom, anyway. And it's interesting on a couple levels. Number one, she's like, it's fun. She's like, but you didn't hire me, did you? And he's like, no. He's like, he kind of remembered her. And then she's like, who did you hire? And he's like, this guy who's a wife of my friend. I mean, a friend of my wife's. I had to. And she said, is he a white guy? And Larry goes, yeah, he's a white guy. But what if it hadn't been a white guy? What if the guy just happened to be black that Larry had hired? Would that have ruined her whole fucking thing? Her whole case would have just collapsed? 8 margaritas in, she thinks she's about to pin Larry David's fucking ears back after like 4 or 5 years lying in wait. And what if he had just said, yeah, he is black, but he didn't. And then she brought up what a lot of people do have criticism about Seinfeld, in that there were never any black characters, which is true. And there's not a real defense of that, but I will say I noticed this when Girls came out, the Lena Dunham show. When it first came out, this was when I was still in Brooklyn. I was in Williamsburg, where a lot of it took place. And one of the things everybody was yelling about was there was no diversity. All the characters were white, super white. And I was, that's insane. That's so, how could she? I was getting over. And then it dawned on me, I grew up in, small town, middle Virginia, went to a small college, yada, yada. I had black friends growing up all through high school, and I know how that sounds, but most of my high school was black, and it just, even in college, which was very white, I had 2 fraternity brothers, close friends that were black. So all the way through college, I had always been around black people. I'd always had black friends. But ironically, when Girls came out, I'd been in New York for 13 to 14 years. Right when I was about to be outraged by the whole, how can there not be any black people on Girls, I realized I was in New York City, in Brooklyn, the melting pot of whatever, and I didn't have any black friends. All my friends were white. And I was in New York City. So it's okay. 30 years later, we're like, okay, we probably wouldn't go an entire 300 episodes without a single black character. But, we don't need to go too crazy on Larry. I don't think none of that was racially motivated. She's okay to be upset, but I can't really give her the win. She doesn't have, you can't be drunkenly accosting people. Yeah, but anyway, I got to give Larry that one, which is surprising. Because you want to be all, how could you not hire the black? But I just don't think that's what happened, and it was a long time ago and whatever. So anyway, all of that, if I play whatever I just said for the last 5 minutes back in my head, I'm sure I'm horrified. But anyway, Larry's up 3-1. Larry. All right, now Larry and Cheryl are screaming at each other because they're at the pharmacy to get her prescription. And, of course, now Larry realizes he didn't slip the maitre d' money. He slipped him the prescription, which the maitre d' has, of course, tossed in the trash. Even though, as I said a minute ago, all he had to do was quickly look at it when he got it and said, hey, this isn't money, ergo, I don't give a fuck about this. And all of this could have been avoided if the maitre d' had acted like a normal human being for about 1 second there. But anyway, I can give Larry the win there. He fucked up the whole thing. All he had to do was have gotten the prescription filled earlier. He totally bungled. Cheryl's frustrated. She's scratching. Rich people rash shit everywhere. Larry, you fucked up, buddy. 3-2, Larry so far. Now Larry, he went back to the restaurant. The maitre d' said, yeah, threw the fucking prescription in the trash can. So now this 5-star restaurant that these rich celebrities just have to stand around for an hour and hope the bride made of these to get into. They just wave in anybody. Oh yeah, you can go into the kitchen and just dig through the trash. I don't know if that happens in the world. And so now Cheryl's yelling. Larry's digging through the trash. Gee, I don't know how these people get rashes. And she's yelling at him, and he's yelling back. You know what, Cheryl? I got it. You can't. You got it. Cheryl loses this one. He's literally digging through insanely disgusting garbage for you while you're screaming at him. I know you're frustrated with the scratching, whatever. If it's that bad, go to the fucking emergency room. Yeah, come on. He's digging through trash for you. I got to give OLD the win for that one. Way to go, LD. You're up 4-2, and all it took was you digging up trash. This rash thing with these motherfuckers. The only thing that happens more than rashes throughout Curb is like they're constantly, especially Larry, chipping a tooth. They're always breaking a tooth, chipping a tooth, going to the dentist to whatever a tooth. It's really remarkable. I aspire to be wealthy enough one day to constantly be chipping my teeth and getting rashes or whatever. So Larry 4-2. Okay, now Larry gets in a fight with Richard's girlfriend who is smoking hot. Is she the girl from... She looks like the girl from Hot Shots Part 2 or Rain Man. She's hot as fuck. Anyway, I lost my train. Oh, because she didn't want to get off the phone so Richard could call the doctor. And so she got pissed off that she had to hang up the phone. Anyway, Larry wins this one. You got to hang up the fucking phone. This woman, Cheryl's melting down with some gross rich people rash. Larry, I have to say, is just trying to do the right thing for his woman. He's a bit of an asshole to this other girl, but Richard's girlfriend, like, are we pretending that she fucking matters to even Richard? Larry gets the win, standing by his woman, doing the right thing for fucking once. Way to go, Larry. Okay, now Larry's over at the doctor's house. Lewis is the dermatologist who he had the affirmative action running. And right away, they're like, oh, so what did Larry mentions he fucked up? Because, of course, he walks into the living room, and it's like, it's like they're making Boomerang 2. I guess we're supposed to think all the black people are meeting in this living room at one time, because that's the way it goes in Larry. And so they're like, oh, so what happened? And Larry didn't want to tell what happened, and they're like, oh, tell us. And Larry's like, no, come on, you don't want to. But meanwhile, it's like the doctor knew Larry was coming over, and he's got all his black friends there, and like he's not gonna say, oh, by the way, let me tell you what this white motherfucker said to me earlier today. That wasn't really. Anyway, maybe I'm just being an asshole because they seem wonderful and nice, and I'm just sitting here ranting and raving like an asshole. So anyway, we'll see. Okay, now Larry gets a big win here because they make him explain what happened. Which is funny because it'd be funny if they set him up. Like, they know what happened, but they just want to make him tell them because they know it's horrifying, and he's kind of melting them. But to his credit, he just says what happened. He's like, I know. But the funny thing is, of all times throughout the show, Cheryl, who's always rolling her eyes at Larry, never laughs even though he's funny, trying to be funny. This is the time I've noticed Cheryl, for some reason, can't stop laughing at this. So that doesn't fucking help. But it worked for Larry. I mean, he won everybody over. They saw that he's an idiot. He didn't mean anything. And like I said, they all seem like wonderful people. So they just started cracking up and forgave him. Although I hope they hate Cheryl for this laughing at that moment. But anyway, Larry is up 6-2 this episode, which that is surprising. Oh, and by the way, right when we thought Larry was going to get the prescription, of course, the black lady from the Mexican restaurant he ran into earlier pops up also at this party because, again, I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm beating a dead horse of a dead horse. Of course, she reappears and tells everybody about Larry not hiring her, and boom, no prescription for Cheryl with a nasty, rich-ass people disease. Oof. All right, now there's some shit. Larry goes to the pharmacy to get the prescription finally. Of course, there's a line. And of course, Larry goes to the front of the line. First tries to bullshit his way to get his prescription first. And there's like 10 people in this line. Then he tries to slip the guy some money. He tries to do the old Mater D thing again. Fuck this bullshit. You know I'm a fan of principled line justice. I'm sorry, the line's the line. And when these rich motherfuckers can bypass regular people in the line for prescriptions, society is over. And to be honest, it was probably over the minute they took the jukeboxes, regular jukeboxes, out of bars. And then they started that bullshit where, if you pay a little up more, your song can skip to the front of the queue. So, gave these rich motherfuckers, you can bump my CCR for their fucking Modest Mouse bullshit or whatever. That was the end. That's the slippery slope. And when you can just bounce in front of me when I'm waiting for a prescription because you go Skrilla, that is too far. Larry David, fuck you. I'm glad the pharmacist is pissed off. He should be. Big loss for you. I wish I could count that one twice. Once again, Xmas time is for line justice. Here, there, and everywhere. All right, turns out that's it. Weird ending for a Curb episode. Usually it ends on a, blammo moment, I just stepped in it. And with this, you think there's going to be a whole new scene, but in the end, it's just Larry driving up to the house and then trudging up the steps because he knows Cheryl's going to be pissed at him. Anyway, pretty great episode for Larry. 6-3 record for that one. Surprising in that his main fuck up, that terrible affirmative action joke was horrendous, but he seemed to dance his way around and kind of charm his way around a lot of the other stuff. Not too bad for Larry. 6-3 for that. So let's see what the season score so far is. I'm going to do a drum roll here to stall and pretend I'm doing something important, like here I am. I'm slow talking while trying to do addition in my head. That's not going well. So 6-3. So now he is 51 and 45 for the year. Man, wow, he is crushing it this season. So anyway, that's Xmas Your Enthusiasm, episode 8 for this season. That is Affirmative Action. Thanks to everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.